What is up, guys, and welcome back to Jones Vibes. So first off, I guess I'll just say I've never really done a video like this, so you might not be too used to it if you're used to my channel. I usually am editing, I do my movie reviews, but today's topic, I want to talk about Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, box office returns, as well as some Dave Filoni and Star Wars stuff. There's just a lot of stuff that I want to vent about. In the future, I have thought about doing a Jones Vibes podcast type thing. And so today, I just kind of wanted to hold more of a discussion, maybe open this up more to you so you can leave some questions in the comments, and then maybe I could come back and record another style video like this and answer some of those questions. I don't know, just get a healthy dialogue going, because at the end of the day, you know, this is my channel, Jones Vibes, but it's also your channel. If you're tuning in weekly and you're watching these videos, I want you to feel like you're a part of this. Also, if you're new here or returning, please go ahead and hit the like button for me. That helps me get seen by more people just like you. It pushes me out into the algorithm, so I'd greatly appreciate it. And also, if you're looking for more movie and television talk, hit subscribe and come on back, because the vibes are always good at Jones Vibes. I don't know. I've been trying to do a catchphrase for like 2 years now. I can't figure it out. But let's dive in. So yeah, guys, I really wanted to start today talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, they decided to spend $300+ million on this film, which is insane to me. Like, it's not a James Cameron movie where, like, you don't even have to bet that it's going to make its money back. Like, Indiana Jones is an IP and a property that was honestly a little bit before my time. It stretched into my time, but it was kind of like an 80s, late 80s property. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out 2000s. I forget exactly when it came out. What, 2010, 11, 2009? That came out, and it wasn't the biggest success in the world, but it even had a bigger opening weekend than Dial of Destiny. And, you know, if you saw my review on the movie, like, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. Was it worth making? I don't know. It's not the worst Indiana Jones movie, but it's not the best. And you'd think if they're trying to have a proper send-off for Harrison Ford, that this would be a phenomenal movie. And especially if you're spending more than $300 million on a property, on this content, on this movie, you want to make your money back. And so you should put the best possible story around this thing. But instead, I just felt like we were left with this kind of middle-of-the-road movie where it starts and it had de-aged Harrison Ford, and that threw me off personally. There's a lot of people that I've heard that have raved about the beginning of this film. If you haven't seen it, this is a small spoiler warning. I shouldn't dive too much into things, but I don't know. A lot of people love the beginning, the train scene, all of that stuff. I was just very thrown off by the de-aging, and it's something that I haven't quite gotten used to. I think the Luke Skywalker stuff, end of Mandalorian Season 2, although I cried, when I saw that scene, I still remember being like, oh my gosh, Luke Skywalker's back, Luke Skywalker's back. And then he showed up and I saw his face and I was like, oh, it's Luke Skywalker's back. Okay, cool. But then seeing him in Boba Fett, I mean, they kind of mastered it. He looked good. I think that was deep fake technology. And I quite enjoyed that, but at the same time, I know that's not Mark Hamill. It's an attempt at young Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, and something about it just feels off. And so when it came to Indiana Jones and looking at young Harrison Ford in the beginning of this, there's like sides that you see of him. You see the side of his face and you're like, oh my gosh, that's young Harrison Ford. And then he turns his face and you're like, oh, that's a video game. That's just a video game character. So a little bit weird. I don't really understand the decision making, and I don't understand why this is the movie that we got. Although, like I said, if you watch my review, I enjoyed the movie. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's just not what you'd think they should be making with this money. And I think that leads into the problem that a lot of people have with Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, what's been happening with Star Wars. If you know my channel, I'm a big sequel fan. And if you know my story, I have a video why the sequel trilogy deserves a second chance. And that kind of describes my whole story. It started off, I wasn't the biggest fan of Last Jedi. Like, it killed me. It really did. It like broke my heart. And then after so much time, now it's my favorite Star Wars movie. So like, I'm a big sequel fan, and I don't think that they really fumbled the bag. I think narratively, there could have been a lot more cohesiveness, if that's a word. They could have brought things together narratively for all 3 movies, and I think things probably could have turned out better. But for what we got, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, I'm a big fan. I'm a really big fan nowadays. Those are the Star Wars movies that I watch more than any now, which I'm sure I might get critiqued for, but they're really great. But then besides that, I just feel like the Disney Plus era, Mandalorian's been good. I think season 3 was not bad. I enjoyed season 3, but it just kind of feels like, where are we going? Like, Book of Boba Fett was not that great to me. Obi-Wan was not that great for me. I mean, it's kind of like Indiana Jones' Dial of Destiny. I look at it and say, it was good, but was that really the best that they could do? And that's what you would want from Star Wars. That's what you would want from Lucasfilm. And so, then Andor came out, and it just blew my mind. Andor was phenomenal. But now, as we head into this new era, we have this Rey movie. We have James Mangold, 25,000 years in the past, the birth of the Jedi Order. Dave Filoni's movie. I think that there's a lot of hope, but I haven't been like a Kathleen Kennedy critic this entire time, and I'm not one of those people that wants to come on here and be like, she needs to get fired, this is terrible. But you just feel like with all of the directors that have been let go, all of the changes, like, I don't know, her contract's up in a year, and it just seems like the right move to make would be to bring in some fresh blood. Like, it could be Dave Filoni, and I think that would be fine. I think he would do a great job. I think what Warner Brothers has done with James Gunn and Peter Safran, having the producer/director team, the creative and the business savvy, I think something like that could work really well. At the end of the day, I think a change needs to be made because, frankly, Indiana Jones' Dial of Destiny, like, this is kind of embarrassing. It really is. There's a lot of really good movies coming out here in July now. I don't think it's going to make much money now past Mission Impossible is about to be here, and that is going to stomp on theaters. Tom Cruise has a way of doing that. Then you have Oppenheimer, then you have Barbie. I just don't see it making too much money from there. So what do? It's a predicament, If you ask me, I think Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. I don't know if they do it quietly. I don't know if they do it publicly. But I think it's probably time. I just don't think Lucasfilm is for her anymore. I think with all of the negativity surrounding Star Wars these days, just the toxic fandom, just back and forth, chaos, I'd just love to see somebody come in and just crush it. Somebody deliver for both sides. Everybody's not always going to be happy. There's always going to be a critic. There's always going to be a side of the fan base that goes, no, that's not my blah, 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 XYZ. But it'd be nice to see some fresh blood come in there and just make a few really good movies. Whether the Rey movie continues to move forward, I mean, it's going into production. They're saying it's going to start filming early spring. I have a lot of faith in it. I hope it's great. I mean, if they could just get like Michael Giacchino to do the score or something like that, I mean, it could be great. But I don't know. I just think moving forward, there probably needs to be a change. Is Dave Filoni that guy? Like I said, I think it'd be cool to get somebody else, but Dave Filoni's like George Lucas's stepson. He's like George Lucas's little clone or something like that. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. He appreciates the fans. He respects the fans. And it seems like everything that he's touched has been pretty great. All of his episodes of Mandalorian have been great. Star Wars Rebels is fantastic. And I think after Ahsoka, we're going to have a more clear idea of the direction that all of this is heading. Yeah, guys, but like I said, I think that's about it for the rant that I have. Please let me know if you like this style of video, because I'll keep doing it. Maybe next time I'll come with 2, 3, 4 topics, and we can keep talking. I enjoy talking. So, but please let me know all your thoughts down in the comments, especially pertaining to this situation and this topic. Kathleen Kennedy, like I said, it's hard to find a middle of the road opinion on this. So if you have a strong opinion one way or the other, nothing against you. Please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And at the very least, we will get some dialogue going. So, like I said earlier, hit the like button if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that support. And hit subscribe to come back for more movie and television talk here on Jones Vibes. And yeah, but Kathleen Kennedy and Disney are, well, I don't even know. Whatever.
Jones Vibes.